Hey everyone. Hi, I'm here in Melbourne. It's a beautiful Sunday evening. The sun's about to go down, but I thought I'd come down here and actually show you around one of the places that I hold very close to my heart. This is the CCHS, or the Community Connected Hackspace, which is actually located in the back of an alleyway that's really close to Swinburne University. You can see those buildings behind me. That's Swinburne right there. So why don't we go inside? Let's take a look around. This happens to be kind of the place where I create most of my stuff here. I've really kind of become it's a little bit of a spiritual mecca for me now, in the sense that this is where I come to work. I work in the city at Library of the Dock to help other people make stuff, but this is where I come to make my own stuff. Let's go take a look inside. So here we are inside the Community Connected Hackspace. You can see from right over my shoulder, it's a kind of a long space, and you can see a lot of different equipment here. We're going to go through that in just a moment. But if I actually turn this way, you can see a whole bunch of workspaces. And the great thing about this is this place is actually set up to work with a whole lot of people at the same time. So this allows a whole lot of different things to go on. There are sessions here that cover everything from 3D printing to drones, to Arduino, to a whole bunch of different things. So let's go for a quick look around and let's check out what's available here at the Community Connected Hackspace. Here we are at the CCHS. You can take a look. This is the long corridor as I showed you before. We're actually at the front. And if I turn to the side here, you can actually see there's usually a computer up here where you can log in. And over here is a whole bunch of members' badges. So when you come down here, people know exactly who you are. And you can see that over the years, a lot of badges have been created. And they're all on the board here. I can see a lot of names of people that I know through the space. There's some really interesting ones like that one there, which has obviously been CNC'd out of Perspex. And Jen's badge, which was actually done, I believe, through a computer-controlled knitting machine, but she can always jump on it and correct me. On the other side here, we actually have a large CNC machine. So this one's called Bessie, and I believe she's functional at this point in time. I actually haven't had the honor of using her yet. I've been working on my own. And up here, you can actually see a rundown of all the things and the statuses they're in. So Bessie is running the big mill. There's a mini mill, which I'll show you a little bit later. Duplicators, a 3D printer, as well as the TAS. A blue laser and the black laser. The blue laser is something that I've been working on for a few years. It's one of my favorite things in here. Door access allows 24-hour access. The welder, we have a welding area. Fast desktop, I'm not sure what that is. 3D scanners working. And the vac former, Seagill. So you guys, if you've been following my blogs, you will have seen that we've been working on a vac former here. There's Bessie. And I love this because this is actually it's actually encaged. Let me pull out back here, you can see. So you can actually put jobs in there and not make too much of a mess. It's pretty cool. Right alongside Bessie is the welding gear. So right now we have an arc welder and helmets. And to the right of that, we actually have a step drill, which is really neat. Next thing I'm going to show you is the lathe. This is again one of my kind of favorite things to work with in the CCHS, the Community Connected Hackspace. And this lathe is a Shurline, Sheraton, not Shurline. Shurline's the small ones. So this is a Shurline lathe that was built in Australia. I would be surprised if this is, I actually wouldn't be surprised if this was built in the 60s or 70s. It gets quite a bit of work here. You can see it's quite a heavy industrial lathe. You can turn pretty much anything you want on it. Let me do a 360 and show you what else we've got here. Right here, if you happen to be working late and want something to eat or drink or a snack, you actually have a snack bar. There are drinks, as you can see here, cold drinks. There's a coffee machine. Mr. Coffee is set up all here. You've got some snacks, and everything goes into the kitty just there, as well as a microwave so you can heat up some stuff and some biscuits and some chips. Very important when you're doing a midnight hackathon, or if you're just trying to get the brain started. You know, you never know where a snack will take you. To the side here, you actually have the vend project. So this is a vending machine project that the space is working on, where if you need an Arduino or a battery, you'll be able to swipe your credit card or go straight to PayPal and it will vend the part for you. Really looking forward to that project happening, because you never know what you need, and sometimes it's a real pain in the tush to have to rush out and go grab some stuff. Just one of the workbenches set up here, and again, in the spirit of the CCHS, we have a box here that used to have a sign on it, but basically these are all things that people have been able to find and aren't using right now. So here's a Tinker Shield from Freetronics. And anything, if you pick something up, just put a donation into the box. It's kind of neat. What have we got here? We've got some screws, standoffs, a soldering iron kit. It's been there for a little while, you know. So again, it's something that you can go and work with if you need it. Over here, basically you've got some offcuts that you can use, and the bandsaw. This is the bandsaw that I like using. It's the first time I ever used a bandsaw was this one, in Melbourne. And then I went off to work with some of the older bandsaws. Some clamps. I'm going to do another 360 spin right here. And we actually have the workbench. So here we've got things like a belt sander, another drill press, a grinding wheel, and the mini mill. And this is the first mill that I actually had some experience on. I like this, is again, it's enclosed. The mini mill is exactly what the name states. It is a very small mill that can go through wood, plastic. I don't believe it can do aluminium. I think some people have done it and it's been offline since then. And you have the control box to the right of it, as well as the computer to set it up. One of the nice things about this space is that if you've got multiple people here, you can actually run one of the computers, one of the TVs off your computer using Chromecast. We've actually got 2 of them here, so the other one's just over there. So you can actually run a tutorial or YouTube video, some other things on the walls that people have made. There's a few foam props that I believe one of the members made with his machine. It's kind of always interesting to see what's around here. And we've got a tool chest as well. That takes us straight over to the 3D printing area, where right now we have a duplicator 4, which is a clone of the MakerBot replicator. And we actually have a TASBot that was actually donated by Lazbot to the space, which is really neat. Take a few steps back so you can see all the area. And up the top here, you can see all the filament, as well as some of the other 3D printers that have been around the space for some time. It'd be nice to get some of the older ones set up and running, but you've got access, should you come down to the space, to 2 3D printers that are here permanently. To the right of here, you've got that TV screen and the blue laser cutter. Now this laser cutter and I have had quite an interesting relationship. This is where I learned all about my laser cutting endeavors. If I open that up here, you can see that's the space of the actual cutting area. I actually worked with a good friend of mine, Gavin, to actually retrofit this machine and actually get it up and running again. We became team project leaders, and at the end of that, I couldn't help myself but actually put a Stark Industries logo on that machine. Every time we have visitors, people always comment about that, so it's kind of neat. Computer that runs this laser cutter, it uses Goebbels, so you're able to actually run it straight off. And I believe it has a mega board running all the electronics. I believe this machine actually came unworking, and of course now it is. We also got donated this black machine. I haven't actually had too much work with this. I think it's offline right now. But you know what I love about this place? You've got things like laser cutting in 10 easy and 13 hard steps. So that's kind of neat. So you can actually run through this, how to make a DFX, and actually run it right through the machine. So that's really kind of cool and neat. This isn't a laser cut example, but this is something that's come off a water jet. The Jurassic World logo, kind of really neat. And up here, you know, more examples of stuff, you know, that people have made. That's what I love about this space. There's a lot of exploration, you know, using different materials. Oh, look, there I am with my camera. You can see here, it's basically a feed rate cut. And you can, I'm looking at you, Gil. Wow, kind of neat. We have a whole bunch of pigeonholes and cubbies. This used to be for people's bags. Now it's really come for stock. So if you do want to use a laser cutter and you want to use some material, we have some stock there with prices. And again, you just put the money straight in the kitty. There's also the lost and found area. So I think that's up there. And if I spin around 180, you can see here is the electronics bay. Again, this is an area where I do a lot of kind of my work. I really enjoy coming here and exploring electronics. Over here, you have parts that should you need, you're able to come out and grab. The unwritten law is that if you buy some stuff and you have a few spares, you throw it in here, and you've got a whole bunch of different things. So if I get a little closer here, you can see, what do we got here? We've got some bolts, some standoffs up here. We've got bolt sockets, test wire, some 3M bolts, you know, some chips here, Zeners, all the rest of it. It's kind of nice to come up here. Again, if you need a part for a project or you're prototyping something, it's really neat. And up here, you've got some heat shrink and some really neat Lego Mindstorm kits. So if your kids come in, they can play without actually being too dangerous about, you know, playing with laser cutters and all the rest of it. Over here, you've got the one side of the electronics bay with a couple of crows and power supplies. Really, the action happens on the other side. Over here, just before I show you, is a whole bunch of resistors for surface mount, and again, cut-off wire, hook-up wire that you may need, which is always really neat to have. And then you've got the action side of the actual electronics bay. What I really like about this is everything's here. As I said, there's at least 2 power supplies in a crow. You've got a microscope for surface mounting that's right here. Over here, you've got a surface mount station. So you've got both a soldering iron and a heat blower, which is really neat. And you know, if you need third hands to hold things up, it's just kind of nice. This is actually where I learned to surface mount. It's probably one of the things that I find the most relaxing, is actually having it here. And then whatever you need to actually finish the job, whether it's pliers or whatever else you need. Here, it's all kept, it's a little messy, but this space is a place of work, so you're able to kind of explore what's going on. And I guess people are coming in here and using it, which is really nice. We've got some of the projects as well that are along here, some of the storage boxes. I talked in a couple of my videos about how Lathe actually started at the CCHS. Well, you know what? There's the 3 Lathe bulbs looking very almost American, but it's red, blue, and green. So I'm gonna go with film RGB, red, blue, green, make us up a television screen or a computer monitor. So if I wasn't using my phone to actually be recording this, I could actually change that. We also have a Roland Pixxa laser scanner. So this allows you to put something in there, let me see, and actually scan an object and turn it into a 3-dimensional mesh to be able to print out. Have not had the honor or the experience to actually be able to use that, but I hope to do that real soon. So as you can see here, this is really much a working space. This is a live space. You know, it's not just a maker space or a hack space in name, but you can see even on the floor, there's a little track for the robotic AI cars to actually learn the grid and be able to race around and learn. And this is one of the things that I absolutely love with the CCHS. So that's the end of my walkthrough at the CCHS, or the Community Connected Hackspace, that's located in Hawthorn in Melbourne, Victoria. I'm hoping to bring a whole series of these videos that will introduce spaces to everyone, especially the ones around Victoria, and when I get to travel, I hope to be able to do that at other locations as well. That's a really, really fast walkthrough, but if you ever get the chance to, definitely check them out. Their URL is hackmelbourne.org. If you want to come as a visitor, I believe that you can come down and spend some time here. As I said, I love this space. This space is where I learned a lot of what I do now, and it's a place that I come back to create myself. So with that in mind, I'm about to start another project, which you'll see in a few weeks, I'm sure, on YouTube. So let me know what you think. If you've come here before, write down below and tell us what you thought about the space, what your experiences were like, what you'd love to be able to learn. You know, that's a good one. Why don't you guys write down the skills that you personally would like to learn, and let's see whether or not I can direct you in the right areas. That's it for me. Gil Poznanski signing out and saying, you know, have fun, learn something, build, and maybe I'll see you down here real soon too, okay? Remember to subscribe if you like this, and I'll see you real soon. Take care.